Growing up in the nourishment of the future. According to the New York Times, controlled environment agriculture, which has been practiced since the 1970s and involves vertical farming, is becoming more popular as a means of producing healthy food utilizing artificial light as a result of the climate crisis and supply chain disruptions. Make sure to stay tuned until the end to find out more. Hi guys, welcome back to another amazing video. Today in this video, we'll be discussing how vertical farming can help and save the world from global food crisis and help maintain global food security. But before we head to our topic, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more such amazing content. That said, let's get started. According to the New York Times, the CEO of agricultural startup Plenty Limited, Arama Kukutai, it's the capacity to place production anywhere without considering climate. The amount of space and soil that vertical farming saves is one of its main benefits. According to Senthold Asang, professor of digital agriculture at the Technical University of Munich, crops are grown in areas varying in size from small boxes that may be placed in homes or workplaces to industrial production facilities with several thousand square meters of growing surface. On 1 hectare of land, vertical farming has the capacity to produce up to 100 layers of crops on top of one another. Large tracts of land used for agriculture will be preserved. The use of significantly less water, protection from traditional pests due to the indoor environment, and the ability to harvest crops frequently each year are some of the advantages of vertical farming. Vertical farming allows for many crop harvests each year and has the potential to significantly improve global food security. Asing told TUM, Asing said, the need for chemical crop protection can be eliminated, and water requirements reduced by up to 90% if crop growth conditions are optimized in a closed system walled off from the outside world. Vertical farming is expected to grow from $3.1 billion in 2017 to $9.7 billion in 2026, according to market analysis company researchandmarkets.com, according to Business Wire. The fact that so many grow lights consume a lot of energy is one of the major problems with vertical farming, but it has advantages in terms of control. The energy requirements of vertical farming have so far been very high. Although it would be fairly possible to improve the world mean annual per hectare wheat yield by a factor of 6,000, this has made it currently unprofitable for crops like grains, Asing told TUM. I also think there's a lot of room for producing crops high in protein and pharmaceuticals. In vertical farming, quality, nutrient content, and flavor can all be precisely managed. The quality of new crop varieties developed expressly for this sort of farming is expected to improve. Electricity usage varies by type of crop. According to Bruce Bugby, director of the Crop Physiology Laboratory at Utah State University in Logan, strawberries require twice as much electricity as lettuce, according to Bruce Bugby, while tomatoes require 60% more than lettuce. The ability of the products to gain market share will determine whether vertical farming is successful. It'll also be crucial for customers to accept the change. People could need some persuading, Asang said to TUM. We also require farmers who are eager to experiment with vertical farming. Farmers have a thorough understanding of agricultural systems and the skills necessary to raise crops. Therefore, we ought to involve them in the creation of technology for vertical farming. Although it may not completely replace farming on the ground, vertical farming can offer a significant improvement over conventional farming in terms of the amount of food produced globally. I think vertical farming has a lot of potential for producing wholesome, long-lasting food. It won't, in my opinion, ever fully take the place of traditional farming in fields. However, vertical farming can and will play a crucial part in the future of food production, according to Asang. Vertical farming is the process of growing a lot of produce in a limited area by stacking layers on top of each other. Produce raised vertically is often cultivated in tightly regulated indoor climates, where environmental factors can be carefully controlled for maximum effectiveness. Aeroponics and hydroponics, which involve growing produce in water, are two of the growing methods utilized in vertical farming, growing the produce in nutrient-enriched air or mist. Due to vertical farming's adaptability, it may be employed in practically any indoor setting, including newly constructed factories and recycled shipping containers. A climate-controlled environment, the ability to provide crops with the nutrients they require, and enough LED lights to reach each layer of produce are all that are required. The idea behind vertical farming is straightforward, and the market is expanding quickly now that the technology is available to produce high-quality food in these conditions. The global vertical farming market was estimated at $2.23 billion in 2018, but by 2026, it is anticipated to grow to $12.77 billion. When it comes to effective food production, Growing produce in vertical, climate-controlled environments has a lot of major benefits. 1. High yield per square meter. Vertically grown crops can produce more per square meter than horizontally grown crops. Given the nature of the practice, this is not surprising, but the statistics merit attention. According to research, the yield of lettuce is as follows per square meter of ground area. 1. When cultivated in an open field, 3.9 kilograms. 2. If grown in a greenhouse, 41 kilograms. 3. When grown vertically, 100 kilograms. This dominance has obvious advantages. The flexibility in where crop farming is feasible and the amount of space needed, which vertical farming essentially eliminates, will be key to boosting production levels at the required rate. Given the regulated climate, the approach also enables crops to be grown all year long with a good yield. 2. Possibility of producing food nearer to population centers. Additionally, people have far more control over where farms are located because of vertical farming. The only sites where produce can be cultivated on large scale historically have been those with acres of suitable land and the ideal climatic conditions, but these locations are not the most advantageous from a strategic standpoint. Growing crops near to these significant population areas is becoming more and more crucial as more people move from the countryside to the cities. Populations in remote areas who have usually relied on lengthy and delicate supply lines to distribute their food can benefit from vertical farming just as much. 3. Resource consumption that is sustainable. In comparison to open field farming, vertical farming uses a fraction of the resources, with water savings being the most important aspect. Using lettuce farming as an example, it is calculated that the average amount of water needed to produce 1 kilogram of lettuce is 1. When cultivated in an open field, it holds 250 gallons. 2. When cultivated in a greenhouse, 20 liters. 3. When grown vertically, 1 liter. Reducing the amount of water needed for farming is a major concern for agriculture in a world where water shortages are becoming increasingly prevalent. Additionally, vertical farming eliminates the need for dangerous chemicals and pesticides, which are a significant contributor to water contamination worldwide. 4. Shrinking supply chains. Fresh produce supply chains can be reduced by bringing crop production closer to consumers. Vertical farming provides a number of advantages in this area, including 1. Improved produce quality. 2. Reducing the amount of imported produce. 3. Reduce food miles to lessen the impact of shipping products on the environment. 4. Doing away with food deserts, areas with limited access to fresh and nutritious food. Why vertical farming is only part of the solution to the global need for food security. Vertical farming is a long way from ensuring global food security while having the ability to produce more food with fewer resources and has enormous potential for the agricultural industry. The size of vertical farming is still quite tiny at this point. According to a study, just about 30 hectares of land are used for it globally. Currently, it's also challenging to make a profit because of the high cost of expansion. These expenses are primarily energy-related due to the massive energy demands of artificial lighting and climate control systems. In comparison to greenhouse farming, vertical farming consumes an average of 247 kilowatt hours to produce 1 kilogram of lettuce. However, the associated costs of vertical farming are probably going to decrease because of the growing urgency of finding a solution to the problem of feeding the world's expanding population. If technology is to be practical in the poor world, where the problem of food security is so pressing, this is especially crucial. It isn't clear whether support from public and commercial sources will be adequate to turn vertical farming into a genuinely mainstream agricultural practice. When it comes to sustainably boosting food production, vertical farming is expected to eventually become one important instrument among many others, such as hydroponics, crop rotation, and less expensive kinds of urban agriculture. Businesses that sell fresh produce must be ready for a future where they will have to adopt a variety of different growing techniques. Do you folks think vertical farming is the solution to save our world from global food crisis? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such amazing content.